This episode is an ESL listening practice for intermediate learners. You will hear a natural conversation with clear pronunciation and everyday English. No tests, no pressure, just listening. Let's start.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to another session of ESL listening practice. I'm so glad you could join us today.
It's great to be here.
Whether you're, walking the dog, maybe you're stuck in traffic, or just washing the dishes, we are really thrilled to have you with us.
Absolutely.
We've built this space for those of you right at that intermediate level, that B2 sweet spot, who are really looking to sharpen your ears and just take that next big step.
It's such a crucial stage, isn't it? You've got the basics down, you can have a conversation, but now you're ready for the nuance, for the things that still feel a little bit, slippery.
Slippery is the perfect word. And speaking of precision, and definitely speaking of slippery things, today we are tackling a topic that, honestly, I think it strikes fear into the hearts of so many English learners.
Uh-oh, I think I know where this is going.
It's the big bad wolf of English grammar.
Yeah.
We are talking about the past perfect tense.
Ah, yes. The past perfect. It has such an intimidating name, doesn't it? Perfect makes it sound like you can't make any mistakes.
Right, like it's some high-stakes test.
But honestly, it's probably one of the most misunderstood tenses out there. It gets this reputation for being complicated, but it's actually, it's incredibly logical.
It really does get a bad rap. I've seen students do just about anything to avoid using it. They'll twist their sentences into pretzels just to stick with the past simple because it feels, safer.
It does feel safer. But today, our mission is to strip away all that complicated textbook jargon.
Yes.
We want to make the past perfect so clear, so simple, that even a 10-year-old would just go, oh, is that all?
Is that all? I love that. That is exactly the reaction we're aiming for. So if you're listening and your heart rate goes up a little bit when you hear past perfect, just take a deep breath.
We're going to fix that. And I want to promise you something right now. No long, boring explanations today. We are focusing on one thing. Just one. And that is time order.
Time order. Okay, so let's unpack that. When we say time order, we're basically talking about organizing events on a schedule, right?
Precisely. You don't need to be a grammar wizard for this.
Yeah.
You just need to be able to visualize a timeline. In fact, I want everyone listening to try this with us right now.
Okay.
Just imagine a long line stretching from left to right in your mind. If it's safe to do so, of course.
Got it. I have the line. So the left side is the distant past and the right side is moving toward the future.
Exactly. And you're standing on that line right now, in the present. Now, when we tell stories about the past, we're looking back down that line to the left. And here's the key. Usually, in a good story, more than one thing happened.
Right, of course. Life is a sequence of events. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I made coffee.
A perfect example.
Yeah.
But sometimes when we're storytelling, we need to jump around a little. We need to talk about something that happened before the main part of our story.
To give some context.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is the core concept we need today. The past perfect is simply the past that happened first.
The past that happened first. I like how simple that sounds. So on our imaginary timeline, we're looking at 2 points in the past.
That's it. Let's call them point 1 and point 2. Both are in the past. Point 2 is the second thing that happened. It's the later past. That's where our old friend, the past simple, lives.
Okay, so past simple is the more recent past event. It's sort of the anchor of the story.
Correct. Now, look further back on that line. To the left of point 2, there's point 1, the first thing, the earlier past. That spot right there. That is home to the past perfect.
So it's not really that complicated. It's just distinguishing between back then and even further back then.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Back then versus even further back then. That is the only rule you need. If you can figure out which of two past events came first, you've mastered the logic.
That visualization helps so much. It stops being a grammar rule and starts being more like a map. You're just placing pins on the map. Now, understanding the map is step one, but we also need to know how to build the vehicle. We need to talk about the structure.
The mechanics, yes. And this is where learners sometimes get stressed because, let's be honest, English verbs can be a little chaotic.
A little. That's generous.
Okay, very chaotic. But I have some fantastic news for you about the past perfect. The formula is what we like to call a magic formula because it's so incredibly stable.
We love stable rules in English. We don't get many of them. So what's this magic formula?
It's just 2 words. Had plus verb 3. That's it. Had plus the past participle.
Had plus verb 3. Okay, and I want to clarify something. When you say had, does that change? Like for I or she or they?
No. And that is the best part. That is the magic.
Okay.
Think about the present simple, right? I go, she goes. You have to think.
Right. Or I was, they were.
Exactly.
Well,
But with past perfect, it is always had. I had, you had, she had, we had, they had. It never, ever changes.
wow, that is actually a huge relief. So you don't have to do those mental gymnastics while you're trying to speak. You just lock in the word had.
You lock it in. It frees up your brain to focus on the story. All you need is that third form of the verb. Verb 3, as we call it. For do, it's done. For eat, it's eaten.
Let's drill a few of those just so our listeners can get the rhythm of it in their ear. That's so crucial.
Good idea. Let's take a regular verb like finish. The formula gives us had finished.
Had finished. Yeah, I can hear it. She had finished her work.
Right. Now for an irregular one. How about go?
Had gone. They had gone to the store.
Perfect. One more. Let's use eat.
Had eaten. We had eaten dinner. You know, it really does have a distinct rhythm to it. Had verb. Had verb.
It does. And once you get that rhythm, it becomes automatic. You stop translating and just feel the pattern. And remember that good news, the formula is consistent. No weird exceptions.
So we have the timeline, we have the formula. Now for the million-dollar question, why? Why do we actually need this? Why can't I just use past simple for everything and, hope people get it?
That is the question, isn't it? And the answer is all about the power of storytelling. Grammar isn't just a set of rules to annoy people. It's a tool for clarity.
So it's about avoiding confusion, making sure the movie playing in my head is the same one playing in your head.
Completely. Without the past perfect, your stories can become ambiguous. They can be confusing. You might even imply something you don't mean at all.
We have a really classic example of this. It's a negative example. What happens when you don't use the tense? Imagine I say this to you. I arrived home and my parents left.
I arrived home and my parents left.
I arrived home and my parents left. Okay. So my brain processes that in sequence. You arrived, and then right after, your parents left.
Exactly. It sounds like they saw me and ran away. Like, oh no, he's home. Let's get out of here.
Yes. Because you use past simple for both arrived and left, it sounds like your arrival caused them to leave.
But that's not what I meant at all. I just meant the house was empty when I got there. They were already gone.
And that is where past perfect saves the day. You have to push their leaving action further back in time. You have to move it to point 1 on our timeline.
Okay, so let's fix the sentence. How do we make it clear?
It becomes, I arrived home, but my parents had already left.
I arrived home, but my parents had left. Oh, that feels completely different, doesn't it? Now, the meaning is crystal clear. Had left, happened first, it was finished. Then later, you arrived. No confusion. We know they were gone before you even touched the doorknob.
It creates a layered image. It's almost like in a movie when you see the aftermath of something. You see the empty house.
That's a wonderful analogy. It is cinematic. In fact, let's look at another example with a cinema. This happens to everyone.
Oh, I know this one, the I'm late for the movie scenario.
We've all been there. You're rushing, you finally run in. Now listen to this sentence. I arrived at the cinema, but the movie had started.
Okay, let's break it down. The movie had started. That's our past perfect.
Correct. That's point 1. The movie began at 7 o'clock.
And I arrived is past simple.
That's point 2. You showed up at 7:15. Because we say had started, we immediately understand the frustration. You missed the beginning.
Whereas if I said, I arrived at the cinema and the movie started, that sounds like a perfect timing. I sat down and boom, the opening credits roll.
Exactly. I arrived and the movie started is a success story. I arrived, but the movie had started is a disappointment. That one little word, had, changes the entire emotion of the story.
That's so powerful. It's not just about being correct for a test. It's about painting the right emotional picture.
It's about control. As a B2 learner, you want control over your narrative. You want to direct the listener through your timeline.
Now, I know what some listeners are thinking. Okay, this makes sense when you explain it slowly. But in a real conversation, I panic.
It's a very valid concern. Real conversation is fast. So you need a mental strategy, a little self-correction tool.
A cheat sheet. I like it. What's the trick?
We call it the easy check. When you're speaking and you feel that confusion, should I use had, should I not? Just pause and ask yourself one specific question.
Okay, what's the question?
The question is, did one thing happen before another past thing?
Did one thing happen before another past thing? Simple enough.
It's a yes or no question. If the answer is no, if it's just a list, I woke up and I had coffee, then just relax. Use past simple.
But if the answer is yes.
If the answer is yes, if there's a flashback, an action that was finished before the main story, Then you use past perfect for that first action.
That is a really handy filter. It just becomes a little logic gate in your brain.
Exactly. Let's try it. Did the movie start before I arrived? Yes. Okay, past perfect. The movie had started. It simplifies the whole process.
I think we need something even stickier, though. Something short and punchy they can carry around. A mantra.
I agree. We have a forever mantra for this. It is one sentence to remember forever. If you forget everything else, just remember this.
Lay it on us.
Past perfect equals the past before the past.
The past before the past. I like that.
It's 3 key concepts. Past before past.
Okay, I want everyone listening to actually try this. I know it might feel silly, but saying things out loud really helps. So say it with us.
Ready? Past before past.
One more time, a little louder. Past before past.
That's it. If you can just chant that to yourself, you've got it. It's not scary. It's not complex. It is just a step backward in time.
That's such a confidence booster. It really demystifies the whole thing. We started out talking about fear, but when you boil it down to those 3 words, the fear just kind of evaporates.
And that is the secret to getting to that advanced level. It's realizing the rules are often simpler than you thought.
Mm-hmm.
Once you see the logic, you stop memorizing and you start understanding.
So to recap, we've got the timeline, we've got the magic formula had plus verb 3, we've got the storytelling context, and we have our mantra, past before past.
Those are the essentials. And remember, the goal isn't to be perfect overnight. The goal is to start noticing it. When you're reading or watching something in English, listen for that had.
Oh, that's a great tip. Passive listening is so important. Once you start listening for it, you'll realize it's everywhere.
It is. It's the glue that holds complex stories together. And the more you hear it, the more natural it will feel to use it yourself.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a little thought experiment. A challenge.
Ooh, I like this. Making it personal is the best way to learn.
Exactly. Think about a major moment in your own life. The day you got your job, or maybe when you moved to a new city. Now, look back at that specific moment. What had happened before that moment to make it possible?
That's a great exercise. For example, by the time I moved to New York, I had saved money for 2 years.
Perfect. Or, when I finally met my best friend, I had just finished university. Our lives are just full of these pasts before pasts.
That is a beautiful way to think about it. Grammar isn't abstract. It's the structure of our own memories. When you connect it to your own reality, it sticks.
So that's your homework, everyone. Find one past before past moment from your own life today. Say the sentence out loud. Use that magic formula.
And just trust yourself. You have the logic now. You have the tools. No fear, no overthinking. Just remember the timeline.
Thank you so much for joining us on ESL Listening Practice today. We really hope this chat about the past perfect has lightened the load a little bit.
It was a pleasure. Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, it's all just time order.
We'll see you next time. Until then, happy learning.
Goodbye, everyone.